I have a question for you. Are you ready? What is your business's vision when it comes to systems? Hey, Doug Radke here from KRG Hospitality, and I want to quickly talk about a favorite topic of mine, simplification. Here's the thing. Over the years, a variety of circumstances have added layer upon layer of complexity to how businesses within this industry are operated and managed. And what were these well-intended responses to new business challenges, such as emerging technologies and third-party vendors and market oversaturation and rising labor and operating costs, and now a global pandemic, have left many within this industry vulnerable and also underperforming. For example, and maybe you can relate to this, we recently worked with a property that had the perception of being successful. But the reality was, and here's the secret, there's a big difference between perception and also reality. But the owners, which were a husband and wife team, were so involved in the day-to-day operations of both cooking food and taking orders over the phone, yes, over the phone, that they were simply burnt out. They lacked systems in the kitchen to allow the husband the opportunity to take a step back to focus on building the business and the systems needed within the kitchen. They lacked systems on the front end that would automate or streamline some of those order taking procedures, again, allowing the wife the opportunity to equally work on business. They lacked communication and workflow management systems between the front of house and the back of the house, right? That the entire team was wasting so much time and money simply walking from the front of house to the back of house due to the lack of process management. It was absolutely unreal. This all led to this downward spiral of poor culture and high turnover, plus a lack of leadership capabilities within the brand, a lack of cross-training, and a guest journey map that had plenty of gaps in it. And in summary, and the reason that I am sharing this with you is that they were light years behind a modern operation that provided simplified systems. They have actually made things more difficult than needed. And as your business gets going and moving and you integrate yourself into the day-to-day grind, like the example that I just mentioned, you will find it difficult to make systematic improvements, to correct pivots or adjustments, because you are so personally integrated in the day-to-day operations that you can no longer extract yourself. And this right here is a very common scenario for brands that opened just 3, 5, 10 or more years ago that have not adapted to change and who do not deploy the right systems towards simplification. And for many, and perhaps even for you that are watching this, many independent brands have devoted more energy in trying to navigate these challenges than actually achieving the results that matter. And the reason for that is we have had these layers of new consumer expectations, including the elements of delivery as just one example, and often singular technology-based systems have actually swelled, for lack of a better term, to create an overload of complexity within this industry. And digging deeper though, accountability has also become unclear, profits have become razor thin, brands are operating with lack of basic systems, and the data that's available to independent operators has been washed away time and time again with no clear idea on how this data should even be used for the average restaurant, bar, or hospitality business. So what can we do? When a business in any industry starts to talk about reducing complexity, they typically want to address one or more of these three pillars. Number one, proposition simplification, which is identifying ways to offer food, beverage, and hospitality-related products and services in a more simplified way and by identifying and owning the guest journey. Number two, process simplification, which is identifying ways to standardize or harmonize, unify processes across the entire business with efficient onboarding, training, culture, diversification, and marketing. And number three, flow simplification, which is identifying ways to reduce inefficiencies and ineffectiveness in daily business operations by auditing your kitchen, your bar, your delivery program, for example, and then executing a more efficient workflow management system. Simplification within this industry is the meaning of streamlining flow and production in addition to improving that guest journey map, the overall guest experience, the business administrative tasks, and even your marketing. However, and this is a big however, trying to tackle the essence of complexity without strategic clarity, the right framework of systems, the correct choice in technology, the right people and culture, and a shift in mindset will 100% reduce the effectiveness of simplification within your business. Let that sink in. We need to strip back layers of complexity that have been added and view our business at its core. Look at your layout. Look at your service sequence, your production sequence, your communication sequence, your hired team, and your business planning. Strip it all back and review your values, your purpose, your goals, and your structure, and the expectations of both your team and your customers. Having the correct methods of simplification will in fact peel back those layers of complexity and create consistency, develop operating capital, enhance your team morale, and build business value while positioning your brand for future growth opportunities. This kind of thinking and mindset and culture, one of functional excellence, is how great hospitality brands are built. I'm actually convinced that this is one of the highest value activities a leader within this industry can actually spend time on. But first, you must stop working in the business and start working on the business. That right there is the first step to simplification. Let me know your thoughts. If you want to talk more about how to simplify your hospitality business, please reach out or even grab your copy of my new book, Hacking the New Normal, which dives into simplification even more. Until then, please stay safe and healthy.